Are you about to mix a song? Don't touch a fader yet. You have to organize your session. The less your brain needs to do, the better. You have a semi-clear vision as to what the artist wants, and now it's time to fire up your plugins, brush off your mouse pad, and create some magic. But we're not mixing yet. I'm Tom Camp from Digital Recording School, where artists, producers, and engineers go to learn how to achieve radio-ready recordings. And in today's video, we're going to prep our mix. I know it's tempting to start soloing tracks and compressing the crap out of things immediately, but let's hold off. Let's look at the raw material. Did your client send you everything in a session, Pro Tools, Logic, etc.? Do you have raw files? There's a bit of housekeeping that needs to occur before we create our next big hit. None of this part of the process is exciting, but man is it important. Your workflow is based on your ability to navigate around your project and make decisions quickly and efficiently. If you received a session from a tracking engineer, let's see what happens when you open up the session. Are there any plugins missing that you need? If you're one of the fortunate few that have every plugin in the world, including those used in the sessions you may have been sent, then rock on and move on to the next step. For most of us, it ends up being a call to the tracking engineer or producer to have them bounce the tracks out with certain processing elements on them. Ideally, you would want to access the raw files as well. In some situations, it would be best to have any pitch and time correction included on the raw files, if the work is already done. But why is this important? Look, I get it. You want everything raw, and you want to have 100% credit for all of the work creating this masterpiece. But let's be realistic. If you were working on something that warrants a better version of the rough mix, then why on earth would you start from scratch? Make your life easier and at least get the tracks with processing on them so that you can use them to speed up your workflow. Many times the processing could be overdone and you could do something that's more tasteful or more effective, which is why the raw tracks are needed as well. I would never just take the process tracks. You want both. But what also happens is once you have established to your tracking engineer, your artist, how you prefer to have the files delivered, they know for future projects exactly what you need. Things like track order. I personally like working from a fresh session that I've created and importing the material into it. Before I import audio into my DAW, I relabel things to appear in the order. I want them in my session as 0-1 kick, 0-2 clap. That's an example of how I do it. Color coding is part of this process. Whatever you need to do to navigate quickly through your session, now is the time to do it. Label, label, label. If you are unfortunate enough to deal with the people that send Audio 1, Audio 2, Audio 3, you need to be able to label them. No guessing is wanted when you're working to turn things up, down, or sideways. At this point, you are looking at a session that makes sense to you. You know where everything is, and you're ready for the next step. Routing.